Hey guys, and thanks for joining me. So today I want to give you an update on the GMAT. So yesterday I went and took the GMAT for the first time, and let me tell you, it is so long. Like, I took a bunch of practice tests beforehand, full-length practice tests beforehand, just so that I can get used to having to focus and concentrate for 3.5 hours like the real test. So it wasn't as bad when I got to test day, but still, nonetheless, it's a lot of thinking. And so I'm just gonna give you a spiel about the process and how it went. So, of course, if you're taking the GMAT, that means that you're interested in business administration or that programs that align with that, because most of them require the GMAT. The GMAT test, it focuses on logical thinking, critical thinking, and also focuses on writing clearly and concisely, helping to get your point across. One of the portions of the test is argument analysis, where you're given an argument and you need to pick it apart and explain why it's illogical. Another portion of the test is critical reasoning, where you're given a chart or a diagram, and you have to pull information from that to answer the questions that are given. Another section is quantitative, where you have data sufficiency, where you're listing whether or not two solutions are sufficient enough to answer the question, or problem solving. And the final section is verbal, where you have sentence correction, reading comprehension questions, those sort of things. Now, I did my test in the afternoon, and part of me kind of wishes that I did the morning exam. I don't know, I'm kind of 50-50 on that, because my thinking was that if I did it in the afternoon, I could sleep in a little bit. If I needed to review something, I had time to do so, that sort of thing. However, studies show that your mind is a lot sharper in the morning, and closer towards the end of the day, you start to mentally get a little drained easier. So part of me kind of wishes that I had went ahead and scheduled it for the morning, but c'est la vie, it's already happened. So when I got there, I was a little nervous, because from what I saw online, people compared security to that of like going to jail. So I was like, are they gonna like pat me down? Like, what's gonna happen? It wasn't that extreme. When I got there, I gave them my driver's license. You have to have some form of ID with you. And she was able to pull up my information. And after that, she had me sign, because the signature on your ID has to match your signature. And she also did a palm reading. Like, I had to put my palm down, almost like how if you have an iPhone, how you set your thumbprint. I had to do that, but with this big reader where I put my whole hand. And I had to do that several times on each hand so that she could get my palm. Then she also took my picture. And then she gave me a key for a locker, and that's where you have to put all of your stuff. The only thing that you can take into the actual test room with you is your driver's license. Everything else you have to put in the locker. So once I got situated, I went back, and again, I had to do the palm reader every time you come in and leave the actual test center. Like for your breaks, you have to do the palm scanner to make sure it's you. You walk in, and everybody is in their own little cubby, like they're sectioned off with these little columns, and it's on a computer, and you get started. And throughout the test, it'll ask you if you need an 8-minute break, and you have, from the moment that you hit the yes button to that, your 8 minutes starts. So you need to quickly raise your hand so that you can get up. They'll escort you out, go do what you need to do. Make sure you give yourself enough time to do the palm reader to come back into the room, because all of that counts in those 8 minutes. And by the time you sit back down, you have the countdown in the top right hand corner of the computer that's telling you how much time you have left. So if you go over 8 minutes, you're cutting into test time. So you got to make sure that you stick with that. So I think I did a significant amount of studying. I think I started studying in January, and my exam was yesterday, March 18th. I wasn't too thrilled with my score. I got a 500. I was hoping for at least a 550, but I mean, anywhere from a 500 to a 600 is pretty average, so I'm not too concerned. With my score, I should be able to get into some of the schools that I was interested in, because I do not want to have to go through this process again. But I definitely wanted to give you guys an update since I introduced the fact that I am going back to school and that I was taking the GMAT. Didn't want to leave y'all hanging, just in case you cared. But yeah, so I'm done with the GMAT and I'm gonna hit the submit button on a couple of my MBA program applications, and let's see what happens. Hopefully the next video that I do is acceptance letters. Fingers crossed. So please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more on my journey of going back to school, amongst so many other videos. I mean, anything that I think could be useful to somebody else, or if I get a new product or a new toy, or if I want to try a new food, I go ahead and make a video on it. So if you're interested, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my new videos. Thank you for joining me. See you soon, guys.